welcome the 2013 Mid-Atlantic Regional. We are bringing the action to you from the Prince George Learning and Sports Complex in Landover, Maryland. I'm Justin Judkins alongside Cherie Chan. We are just about to start the last of 4 heats in the men's competition for event number 1. This workout is titled Jackie and Cherie. Anytime I hear I have to do a workout that's named after a lady, I instantly break into a cold sweat. I'm not alone. Why do these ladies named workouts strike fear into the hearts of CrossFitters around the world?
They certainly do, Justin. I know I'm fearful when I see one as well. It's because they have a high horsepower, they're fast, you don't have one movement that interrupts with the other, and so that equals pain.
Lots of pain. This is a sprint. These athletes will be going fast. When they hear 3, 2, 1, go, they are going to do a 1,000-meter row, then advance to the mat where there's a 45-pound bar waiting for them. They will complete 50 thrusters. Cherie, what's a thruster?
That would be a front squat, open that hip up to an overhead press.
Okay, once they've completed 50 of those, they're going to move on to the pull-up rig, complete 30 pull-ups. When they step on the red mat, their judge will push the stop button on the stopwatch. The times to beat today in an earlier heat, Kyle Ruth did this workout in a blazing 5 minutes and 15 seconds. However, we've got athletes in this heat that really could take down the event record. The event record was set in the second week of competition in the Northern California Regional by none other than Jason Khalipa. The time to beat for the event record, 5 minutes and 4 seconds. So they've got seconds before they start. All of the physical preparation time is over, Cherie. They've just got seconds to get their mind in the right spot. As an athlete, what are you telling yourself before this event kicks off?
You're telling yourself to calm down. The anxiety, the anticipation. They've been watching 3 weeks of competition go ahead of them. They're like, stay calm, stick to your game plan, know what I'm going to pace on my row. So it's all about managing anxiety right now.
And who should we be keeping an eye on in this heat? We've got some big names.
This is Ben Smith's regional to lose. Seriously, he has a 4 times game competitor. He's sitting in lane 6, so
There's
it's going to be
Smith.
his game to lose this weekend, and all of his competition knows that.
And they are underway. This is the first event, the 4th and final heat for the men's competition. And you did mention we have some big names in this heat. Ben Smith obviously comes in from the open in first place. He is a crowd favorite in lane 6, but his brother is also in this heat.
His brother is in this heat.
I don't think we've seen that yet, really.
No, it is in lane 10, and that's Alec, a little bit younger than Ben, but he is going to be definitely an up-and-coming. I don't expect him to come off and win this particular workout, but I do think he's going to be an up-and-comer.
And there's Alec right there in the gray shirt, Progenics on the front. Keep an eye on that young man. They've got something going on in the genetics with their family. There's a 10-minute time cap in this workout. The time to beat, once again, was set in the second heat by Kyle Ruth, and it was 5 minutes and 15 seconds. Cherie, when I first started CrossFit, I thought, hey, a rower, you just sit on the stupid thing, you pull a handle, and that's all there is to it. But really, the more I've done CrossFit, there's a lot of technique happening. If an athlete wants to have good technique on a rower, what does he need to do?
There's definitely a lot of technique going on, and for this particular workout, they need to drive from their feet and they need to stay calm. That's really the 2 things that they're going to be focusing on. That right there is Nate Schrader. He wants to beat Ben Smith. That's going to be the second.
He said that coming in.
Yep.
One of his goals is to beat Ben Smith in this regional. He's finished behind him in years past. There's Sean Thompson with no shirt on and black shorts. And pulling hard on that rower. They've got a monitor in front of their face. So, Cherie, what things are they keeping an eye on or watching on that monitor?
2 things they could be looking at, their 500-meter pace or their stroke rate. Most CrossFitters know what they can maintain 500-meter pace and not be blown out. You can see the 138 there on the screen. That's his pace right now. And that's a pretty consistent pace with what we've seen with other male individuals that we see. Or stroke rate. If that stroke rate gets too high, above 30s, they're going to wear out too quickly.
Now, a lot of excitement. The adrenaline is just pumping through their veins. They've got all of their fellow competitors right next to them. They can hear the PA announcer saying when certain individuals are reaching, 500 meters, 700 meters. how can that play with your mind if you're an athlete? Now we're seeing judges' hands comes up. That signifies that they have reached 750 meters, so they are flying through this. We just passed the 2-minute and 30-second mark. But how can those factors affect the mind of an athlete?
That's all going to depend on your experience. Either way you look at it, they're going to get anxious. They're going to want to pull faster. That could break down their form and fatigue them quicker. So if you're more experienced, you'll be able to maintain and control those emotions.
So Steve Pinkerton in lane 3, it was his judge's hand who came up first. However, I'm sure we'll see several athletes finish around the same time. Cherie, how important is it to be the first one off the rower?
Not important that you're the first one off, but very important that you pick up that bar and go. That transition, that you don't waste time resting before you pick it up, is what's most important.
And there goes Steve Pinkerton. He is the first one, and look at his transition. That's exactly what you're talking about. I think that's going to be key, their transition between exercises, right? And we saw that with the women.
Oh, for sure. Can you minimize your rest? No rest means you're going to do well at this workout. Seems obvious, but extremely difficult to do. And if you look at lane 6 there, that's our Ben Smith. That really is our favorite in this particular heat, and his thrusters are pretty blazing fast and consistent right now.
So the next two movements, this thruster and this pull-up, will favor Ben Smith. And that is Rory Hamlin in the red shorts and black shirt. Right behind him with the no shirt on is Steve Pinkerton. And they are cycling through these rather fast. It's going to be really important for him to go unbroken. Do you think that if somebody takes a break, they're going to be in the running for first on this event?
Oh, certainly not. You cannot take a break here, especially if you came here to win this regional.
And we see the judges right down there next to the athlete. What is it that the judges are looking for?
They're looking for their hip to go below the knee, and they're looking for the bar to go over the middle of their foot or the middle of their body at the top.
And Pinkerton only has 1 rep left. He'll set the bar down. He went unbroken, and now watch his transition on the pull-up. Does he take a break? No, he doesn't. He gets going right in on the pull-ups. That is Steve Pinkerton in lane 3, no shirt on. First one to the thrusters, first one to the pull-up bar.
That is going to be huge, and we're going to see if he has the strength to turn around and know that he's got to run to that mat. That might make a difference as to whether or not he gets that first.
All right, we are at the 5-minute mark in this workout. If he wants to have the fastest time of the day, he has to complete those 30 pull-ups, and he comes off the bar. That's detrimental for his time. He's got 5 seconds if he wants to beat the fastest time of the day. So we might not have the fastest time come out of this heat. And two athletes jump on the mat nearly at the same time, Steve Pinkerton and Ben Smith. One right after the other, they were neck and neck.
At 5:16, I think it's unofficial. It might be second, third.
So the times are unofficial. The results are unofficial. We'll have them to you as fast as we can. You can check these results online yourself. Just go to games.crossfit.com/leaderboard. And Steve Pinkerton, he's asking his judge, he's like, hey, what was my time?
I'm pretty sure he's bummed he came off the bar at that point. That might have cost him being able to get a good placing in this workout.
It really, really could have. And we mentioned that earlier, but Ben Smith, he went unbroken on the thrusters. He went unbroken on the pull-ups and started the thrusters and the pull-ups behind Steve Pinkerton, but caught him on those pull-ups and finished.
It was that drop off the bar and the pace. I don't know if you saw how fast Ben was cycling his pull-ups. It was the pace at which he was cycling those 30. They were blazing.
Casey Haynes just finished unofficial time 6:14. So it looks like, it's hard to say at this point, but we could have the fastest time of the day. Man, in an earlier heat with that 5:15. But it looked like Steve Pinkerton and Ben Smith virtually tied. We don't know the results yet, but somewhere around the 5 minutes and 16-second mark. So once we get all of the official results, we'll have them to you. That was a crazy fast heat. Steve Pinkerton has to be disappointed that he dropped off that bar for a second.
Until he knows the result, he'll be disappointed.
Right, right. Just keep believing that you just took first there.
Exactly.
So we know in this competition, whoever takes first in this event will have 1 point.
You are the heat winner today. It was so close, though. Did you even know what was happening? You dropped off the bar and let Ben come in after you. So did you know in the final moments that you actually got into the
No.
win?
You know, being in that second lane or third lane, I could only see a few people in front of me, but I knew everyone was close. And I've done this probably 6 times, and I've never broken up my pull-ups. And I felt my grip going, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, I'm really gonna drop off? And I thought once I dropped I was gonna get caught, but it was close.